In this video, we're going to tell you everything you need to know about shipping your eBay items using Australia Post and My Post Business.
From tips, what size packages are available, and even how to save a bit of money when you're shipping your item.
We'll also go through the whole process of using My Post Business to ship your items.
And if you guys are new around here, we are Brad and Jazz, and we make a full-time living selling on eBay.
Which is why we know a lot about using My Post Business, and we're going to tell you how to make it the easiest. First, we're going to talk about the options for Australia Post packaging, and there actually is a new size option, which is the extra small, which is really handy for those tiny items and DVDs. We also can get in each size, the box, the bubble mailer, and the vinyl mailer. And these range from small, medium, large, and even extra large. And with this whole Australia Post range, it's a flat rate up to 5 kilos. Let's run through the size difference in one range, because there are a few options here. These are all a size small, and you can fit up to 5 kilos in each. But as you can see, they're all a little bit different too. So our box is a little bit shorter, but definitely the most sturdy option. The padded mailer, which has your protective bubbles, is actually the largest of the three. And then you also have your vinyl mailer, which doesn't provide any protection, but is really handy for just things like clothes that aren't going to break. And a quick tip, you can actually see that the vinyl mailer is quite a bit smaller than the padded mailer. So even if your item doesn't need that extra protection, going up to the bubble mailer might prevent you from having to go to a medium size. So what are we putting in these? For the small boxes, we recommend items like CDs in a jewel case, anything that if it got dropped in a satchel, you might have a problem. And we will show you how we protect these items inside the package in a bit. The padded mailer is great for things like DVDs that need a little bit of protection, but I wouldn't consider breakable. And your vinyl satchel is perfect for things like clothing, not breakable, but they do need something to ship in. As we go up in size, you can obviously fit more, with the padded mailers consistently being a bit larger than our vinyl satchels. With this range, so long as it stays under 5 kilos, if it fits in this packaging, it ships. All right, let's ship something in a small box. We're going to use this stack of CDs as an example. Everything that you're packaging might need something a little bit different. We're going to get some bubble wrap for these guys so that it doesn't bounce around inside the box and get damaged while it's in transit. And we like to use a little bit of tape to secure that. Tuck the ends. And this is just going to make sure that all of, specifically, the corners have something protective on them. Pop it in, obviously. And as we can see, there's still a bit of room around this, so it could jiggle around. So we like to use either some clean recycled newspaper or some packing peanuts. If it's something really fancy, we might use some tissue paper, but we like to recycle and keep it a little bit budget when we can. And we're just going to scrunch it all the way around so that none of the corners would actually rattle in this box. Always something between the corner and the edge of the box so that we can shake it, it's not going to matter. Now that we've got some fill holding it in place, we're going to close it up and tape it up. As soon as our item is in the box, we want to write something on the front pretty much immediately so that we don't forget what this is and we can match it up with the label we're printing. You might use the customer's name, what the item is, or the order number, whatever you're going to be able to use to identify this. When we're sending multiple items, we keep this in chronological order. So our first item is going to be the first in a row, and anything after that will be the next one and the next one in the order that the labels are going to print out. All right, let's pack a padded mailer. We're going to send a DVD today, and if I can fit them in sideways, I like to do that and push it all the way to the bottom, because then we can actually fold this over when we seal it. We rip this off, seal it down, and that gives it even a little bit of extra padding wrapped around. And for our non-breakables, we like to fold it up really neat so it's going to look nice coming out of our vinyl satchel. And it's exactly the same, just slide it on in, rip, and fold it over and stick it. Now, Australia Post packaging isn't the only way you can go. If you do have your own recycled boxes that you want to use that's unbranded, that's absolutely fine. With these, you will need to measure and also weigh them, because you're going to be charged cubically, which means they take both the weight and measurements into consideration for how much this is going to cost. So this charge is a bit different from the Australia Post set rate. So in some cases, it might be a little bit cheaper, but in some cases, it could also be more expensive. Okay, let's talk about My Post Business and how to save a little bit of money. The way that we recommend to buy your shipping labels is by making a My Post Business account through Australia Post. And you can do this online or in the post office for free. Quick tip while we're talking about this, sometimes there are some promotions so that you can start at a higher discount rate. So do ask if there's a cheeky way that you can start on a higher band. Once you have your My Post Business account, you're going to have access to discounts. Based on how much money you're spending is how much of a discount you can receive. And so this might fluctuate for you. You might go up a band or down a band depending on what you're doing at the time. They go from band 1 through to band 5. Band 5 is the biggest discount. Let's run through some pricing examples for each size range. We're going to tell you the standard price, the band 5 discount if you are sending this to somewhere regional, and then the very best price you can get, which would be band 5 and sending in the same city. First up is the new extra small size satchel, and the standard price for this is $9.70. But if you're on band 5, you're looking at $9.22. And for the very best price, band 5, same city, you can get it for $5.82. Right now in 2025, the prices have just been updated. So the new standard price for a small satchel is $11.15. If you are on the band 5, sending one of these regionally would be $10.59. And the cheapest you can get it in the same city on band 5 is $6.69. Our same stats for the medium, the standard price, $15.25. On band 5, you could send it for $14.49, or the very best price you can get is $9.15, same city. The standard price for our size large is $19.30. On band 5 though, you can get it for $18.34, or for the very cheapest same city on band 5, $11.58. The giant extra large satchel usually costs $23.30, but on band 5 it's $22.14, and band 5 same city, the cheapest you can get is $13.98. Now you know all the nitty gritty of the packaging and what everything costs, let's show you how to use My Post Business. First things first, you've got to connect your My Post Business account to your eBay store, and you can do that in your settings in integrations. It has here the eBay integration, and you'll click connect to eBay. You'll enter your eBay account name and password in the usual eBay login, and it'll ask you if you want to grant My Post Business access. We will agree. Now that you're integrated, we go to our orders, our draft orders, and import our eBay orders. And this is going to bring all of the post information for our items that are ready to ship over into our My Post Business account. On each of your items, you're going to go down to the edit button on the right-hand side and click that to start editing the label. So let's send our CDs to our customer. Once we've pressed edit, we come in here and we can see all of the things that need to be filled out, like their contact name, CD lover, for example here. A lot of this will be pre-filled from the information that's taken from eBay. So you can also enter a business name if you need to. It already shows that they're in Australia and already has their address filled out. And we need to put in a little reference here. It's optional, but we're going to use it to identify our item. So whatever we've written on this box to identify it, whether it's their name or what the CDs are, we will also write that in the reference, and when our label prints out, we'll match them together. So we've entered CD lover as our reference, as it states on the parcel. The next thing we need to do is declare whether this has dangerous goods inside. You can see the list of what counts as dangerous goods on the Australia Post website. This does not contain dangerous goods. And then we can also put in an optional description so that the post office knows what's inside this package. Don't need to do that, but you can. We go to packaging type next, and we're selecting the Australia Post standard small flat rate box. Easy peasy, and that's one of the reasons we love using the standardized packaging. If we weren't using standard packaging, we would select my own packaging from the top here. And now you can see that it's asking for the weight as well as the length, width and height in centimeters. But we're selecting our standard small box. It doesn't weigh over 5 kilos, so we're good to go. And as you can see here, we've got two options where we can select regular parcel post or we can select an express option. When we go in there, it also shows us the original cost and the band discount and our new cost. Once we've done all of that, we press Save Order. And now that order will be in our ready to ship section, CD Lover. From here, we go to Pay and Print. It gives us a review that we're shipping one order and we can proceed to payment. And then you can choose how you would like to pay. You can save your credit card details in there and select Pay. That's now generated the label for you. You can go to print your label. Here you can choose how you want to print it. We're using a thermal label printer in the 4" by 6", and we print. We use our reference to match CD Lover to the correct parcel and stick it straight on. As soon as we hit print and our labels are printing out, it's automatically updating eBay that those items have been shipped and the tracking numbers are automatically uploaded. Okay, your parcel is ready to ship. All you need to do now is drop it off at the post office. You can put it into one of the red collection boxes, but we recommend taking it in so that it gets scanned straight away and your customer can see this is at the post office. We hope this shipping tutorial has been helpful for you. If you have any follow-up questions or would like to see any follow-up videos, let us know down in the comments and we will see you next time on Two Aussie Thrifters. Bye for now.